All right, so we are going to go over the steps for 125, Bernie Sanders and his mittens, part 1 of 2. So this is going to be a 2-day lesson. So what I need you to do as the first thing is for your do now, there are going to be some changes that are going to be happening over marking period 3. Please read over the next 3 slides up until expectations of photo editing. You guys should recognize that one already. And message in the chat your response to these 3 questions. So where does your prepared for class grade come from? How often will you get a project grade? And do you still need to submit an assignment every day? And if yes, what grade category does it fall under now? So, just as a heads up, if you are watching this because it is after class or you have already finished class, some things to mention is that you can still submit work that's late. You can still submit your due now that's late. So, if you are absent, you can still make up your participation and you can now also make up your prepared for class by responding to the do now and responding to the connection and exit ticket in the comments section on your assignment for the day on Google Classroom. So that means that you're still going to do the do now, you're still going to do the connection, you're still going to do the exit ticket. You're just going to go ahead and look at them afterwards, go through the steps, and you're going to comment with your do now, your exit ticket, and your connection answers on the comment section for that assignment on Google Classroom. So that way you can make up the points from it. The expectations are the same. One other thing that is new is if you see this little camera, this little digital camera on a slide, that means during class, have your camera on. So that's just something to kind of help. There is the connection. It requires you looking at the next slide and responding to that on Google Classroom. So this has a bit of information about Bernie Sanders. You can read that. You can pause the video and read through that. You can pause again and read the video. I'm sorry, and read the slides. Pause the video to read the slides because these are very important. Again, pause the video, read over the slides that are here. If you don't follow these expectations, I'll know that you did not actually read the slides. We talk about this during class, but it is also very important that you don't just hear it, but you also read it. So these are the steps that we'll be doing today. Find a new background for Bernie to make a new meme using Google Images and open it in Photopea. I'm going to download the picture of Bernie to use and use the open and place to insert the picture. And I'll just adjust this picture of Bernie into his new background. I'll use Magic Cut to get rid of Bernie's background. And then 4, save as PSD. 5, export as PNG and upload onto Google Classroom by 6 p.m. today, which is the 25th. So this is steps for tomorrow. We'll move him around, erase parts of him that we don't want. We'll sign our name on the bottom right corner. Optional to add text to the meme. Then we are going to upload, I'm just going to include the PNG to Google Classroom by 6 p.m. tomorrow. And upload onto Padlet and sign your name to show off your meme in a school-wide competition. Competition? Yeah, we're going to have a competition. You can read the info on that slide. So the first thing that I need to mention is if you are watching this video, whether it is during class, whether it is after class, whether it is before class, this video isn't just here like YouTube for you to watch and then not do anything about. That's not the reason that the videos exist. I've seen some people literally just put on the video on GoGuardian and not actually do the project. That's kind of silly because you're not actually doing the project. What I would recommend is having it open in the video and following along with the video while you have your project open in a different tab. Or another option that I've seen people do that's been very successful is actually watching this video on your phone and doing the project steps on your computer. So, like, these are things that I need to mention because I've been seeing people not doing them. If I'm saying this and I see on your screen that you are watching the video and not actually doing the project, I know you're not actually listening. So, like, don't do that. You're going to fail if you do that for the project. So do not do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by choosing a new background picture for Bernie. For this project and only this project, you can use Google image search. As long as you are not selling this picture that you are going to be making, this is fine for this particular project. Again, that doesn't mean just Google search Bernie memes and submit it. Like, that's called plagiarism. That's not acceptable. So step 1B, we're going to find a new picture. So I'm going to go to google.com. I'm going to search for the new type of picture that I want for my Bernie meme. I have an idea in mind, and I'm going to use Chilling Adventures of Sabrina to get there. Your idea is going to be different than my idea. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click Images, and I'm going to choose an image that I want. I'm going to click on this picture that I want, that I think looks kind of cool, so that way it shows up bigger on the right-hand side. If I'm going too fast as you're going through the steps, feel free to pause it and press play when you are caught up. That is what the video is here for. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on that picture. As you can see, I have a lot of options. If you're on a Chromebook, to right click, tap the picture with 2 fingers, or I'm sorry, tap the touchpad with 2 fingers at the same time. And I'm going to click Open Image in a new tab. That way I can see it. It's just a little bit bigger. It makes it a little bit easier for me to see. I'm going to right click and click Save Image As. And then I'm going to click Save. This way, it's just the biggest possible size type. If I try to save this image, like, the file type is just a lot smaller. That's why I like to do it from a new tab. It just makes life easier. So going back to the slides for the next step, I've already opened it in a new tab and I've downloaded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the picture that I just downloaded in Photopea. I clicked on the link from the slides, click File, and then click Open. And I'm clicking on the picture that I just downloaded. Next thing that I'm going to do is I need to download the picture of Bernie. So I have the link here in the slides. On slide 19, I'm going to click on it. I'm going to right click on it. Again, tap the touchpad with 2 fingers at the same time and click Save Image As to download it to your computer. Or it might say Download Image if you're on a Chromebook. It says the title of that in my downloads bar is Getty Images because that's the website it's from. And I'm going to go into Photopea now. When I click File, the first 3 options you guys know we use a lot. So File New would make a brand new blank page. I don't want that. If I click File Open, it's going to open it in a new page. I don't want that either. So what I'm going to click is I'm going to click Open and Place. That basically lets me insert the picture into my new picture. As you can see, there's some things that are happening that we don't really want. It still has the background is our first issue. So I'm going to click Select. I'm going to click Magic Cut. As you can see, it takes a minute to load. That's normal. I'm going to click on my green. You guys know how this works. And I'm going to cover him in the green. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to move a little bit fast through this just for the sake of the demo. So I'm going to cover him in the green. And what I'm going to do next is click on the red. I'm going to make the brush a lot bigger. And I'm just going to quickly bang some of that out. When I do this, it's kind of like when I'm painting. I start with a bigger brush for the big areas, and then as I work on it more, I go into then the smaller brushes for details. You guys remember this. If you get that annoying pop-up saying the red and the green should never meet, just ignore it. For details now, I can click on that plus sign and zoom in. I can make the brush a little bit smaller now. Get a little bit more precision. Cool. Yeah, especially around the head because we don't want the white of his hair to blend in with the white of the stairs behind him. On the left-hand side is where I make my changes. And then on the right-hand side, and one thing that's cool is you can actually put your mouse on the right-hand side and drag it, move it around to move the zoom in. I notice down here, I still need to adjust. Oh, I accidentally erased his foot. Whoops. All right. But I still notice that there is that gray spot. So I'm going to just get these little negative space babies. Maybe at some point we'll get into negative space as a concept. Again, I'm not doing this super precise just for the sake of time for the demo. Don't do that. You should be precise. I'm just doing this for the sake of the demo, but you should be more precise than I'm being. Yeah, I'm just going to call it a day there for the sake of time. But again, you should be being more precise. When I'm done, in the top right corner, I'm going to click OK. So now, looking back on my slides, done Magic Cut, I clicked OK. Nice. So now we need to do that two-step save to wrap it up. Click on File and click Save as PSD to save that to your computer. If you do not save the PSD to your computer, you're going to have to do this again tomorrow. I'm not kidding. You need the PSD file format so that way you can have these layers tomorrow when we move it around. Otherwise, you're going to have to go over those same steps, and that would really, really stink. So I did File, Save as PSD as the first step for my two-step save. Next, I'm going to click File, Export As, and I'm going to click PNG. I get that weird up close and personal zoom in. I'm going to click Save. So what I can do now is go on to Google Classroom for 125 and upload this in that spot. And I'm going to then fill out the exit ticket so that way I can upload or comment that on the space on Google Classroom.